Okay, so I just got the bike back from being MOT'd, which it passed, but the examiner pointed out that the rear brake pads were getting very low. I've just whipped them out, and yeah, sure enough, I mean this one in particular, which is which one is that? That's the outside one against the pistons. Yeah, that's way down. So good to replace that. The other curious thing is that this one has got a deep groove in it, and I don't quite understand where that's come from. Slightly peculiar. And on the disc, there's a similar raised area. Yeah, something you can see there on the disc. There's a distinct raised line, which obviously corresponds to that groove in the pad. So I've no idea where that's happened. I could understand perhaps something getting wedged into the pad material and cutting a groove into the disc, but this is done the other way around, which is very strange. I don't know if there's some kind of inclusion in the steel of the disc. Anyway, hey Siri, what's 0.186 inches in millimeters?
That would be 4.72 millimeters.
4.72 millimeters. So the minimum on this rear disc, I believe, is 4.5 millimeters. I've got this spare brand new one. It's an aftermarket one that I got off eBay relatively cheaply some months ago. And it says minimum thickness 4.5. So I assume this is so 4.5 is this the where this one will need to be thrown away. So it's 2/10 of a thou off the minimum at the moment. So I could run it for a bit longer, or I could swap it for that new one. I think I might as well run it. I think that well, no, I think with the groove or the lump ridge on here, I think I might as well take this off and swap it for the spare one I've got. Whip the wheel off. Just this stubborn one here. There we go. Yeah, so again, looking at this disc, so this side is okay, but the other side has got that distinct ridge on it. So yeah, I think the time has come to swap that disc for the other one that I've got. Now there's somewhere where that's here, isn't it? Where you can get to the Torx screw. Good. But again, you can see this line here with the distinct raised area and a sort of ring around the whole disc. So why that has happened, I don't know. Because there's the old one, and this is the new one, and they look to be the same, which is a relief. So I did buy this one as a aftermarket replacement for the rear. ARASHI, Arashi. Yep. DB Delta Bravo Sierra 098 Whiskey. Looks to be the part number. Okay, so this is the old disc. Turns out that it is made by a Greek company, so I couldn't read this, but it does actually say Greece, made in Greece. It's made by a company called TPL. It's TSU Boss apparently is the product, but it's lasted 8,000 miles, so it hasn't done too badly. It's still got some thickness left, so it's about 0.2 millimeters probably. But so it's got this strange lump on it, this sort of ring that's standing proud of the surface with that groove in the pad, and it just looks terrible. So it's obviously a grade of steel that rusts, and must have when it's whenever it's damp, you come to move the bike after it's been stood overnight, and the pads of course are stuck to the disc, so you have to push it over, and there's a clunk as the rear pads release from the disc. So yeah, I'm going to replace it with the other one I've got, which is indeed an Ashi disc, a wave disc from China. So we'll see how that one goes. Let's just wash the gunk off this. Okay, so according to the book, these screws should go in at 30, I think, 30 Newton meters. There's a note about micro encapsulation, which I'm going up to 12 Newton meters first, which I think is to do with with some thread locking compound on here, which must come supplied with the screws to the factory original fitment. Or if you replace the screws, they must be supplied with some kind of sealant on them already, thread locking compound. But I'm going to use the old screws. I'm going to put some thread locker on, so I can pretty much go straight to the 30. Okay, so that is on and torqued up. Everything looks okay. Next thing, just to whip the caliper back on. Okay, so the torque on this is 24 Newton meters. I've already pushed the pistons back in, checked that it's floating properly on the pins. So this just needs to go on here. Like so. First, just a bit more sealant on here. I got this out without taking the rooster tail guard off. I'm not sure if I can get it back in that way and torque it accurately, so I think I'm going to take this off. Okay, just top that's caliper up. Okay, so I haven't got the brake pads yet. They should come tomorrow, and I think I'll leave this off. Shall I? Yeah, I'll leave this off till tomorrow. Put it on after I put the pads back in. As a matter of interest, this new disc is about there, which is that's actually 0.2. It's 1 thou under 0.2. Hey Siri, what is 0.199 inches in millimeters?
The answer is 5.05 millimeters.
Yeah, so it is pretty much 5 mil. So you only get half a mil of wear on these discs, which is, I suppose, it's probably par for the course, but doesn't seem very much. There's a quarter of a mil on each side. Old pads, new pads have arrived. EBC seem fine. The old ones have this backing on one side, on the side opposite the pistons. So there's this kind of shim, which I don't think is metal, or it could be aluminium, I suppose. And then a stainless steel sort of clip that holds it in place. So that fits on there. That fits on the back of this pad. I assume that is some kind of anti-squeal gadget. Whitney's back in here. It's all very straightforward. And the other side. I need to work out where the clips go. Where do the clips go? There we go. Yeah, so there's holes on the side here, and these R clips fit in here. I'll use this on its lowest possible setting, which is 1 on this case. So I don't want to damage anything. So just as a way of more quickly getting the screws in at all. Okay, so personally, I always put a bit of copper spray on it, just as a way of lubricating stuff, so the threads go in nicely, but also as an anti-seize arrangement. This is the stuff I'm using. It's 3-in-1 anti-seize copper grease. Just a light spray, just to ease things up. So it's on its lowest setting. Just to, oops, wrong way. I'm not going to apply any torque, just get them done up. Okay, so 60 Newton meters, I think, is the setting for these. Okay, looks good. Okay, from memory, the torque on these screws that hold this rear fender on torque up to 8 Newton meters. So I've set the gadget to that, the torque wrench. Stick some thread locker on just because. So where's that go? Goes there. So this is set to 8 Newton meters. Always seems quite light. 8 Newton meters. I might actually check that. Good. So I think that's all done. Just a question now, and just need to bed the pads in gently on the next trip, which will be this afternoon. Okay, thanks for watching.